Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol at Big Cat Rescue. I'm here with Zabu. Hi, hello there. Who's a good girl? So I bought a newspaper this morning. When's the last time you bought a newspaper? For me, I think it was probably like 20 years ago. Back 20 years ago, my late husband and I would take Sundays off, and that was the day that we would lay in bed and read the newspaper, or I'd read the newspaper to him mostly. And he loved to go look at yard sales and that kind of thing, and was always interested in stuff that was for sale. Boats for sale, cars for sale, mobile homes for sale. And so the classifieds were the biggest part of what we looked at. And since he's been gone, I don't think I've bought another newspaper. I've been in the newspaper enough that I know that most of what they print is not completely accurate. And even though the press has really been kind to me, it's not that I'm saying that they say bad things about me. They've been wonderful. We've been in the press, I don't know, probably 2,000 times or more. And they're always quite complimentary, but they just can't get the facts right to save themselves. So it makes me not want to buy the newspaper and read it because I know how inaccurate it is. But today I decided to buy a newspaper. And the reason was that I'm trying to sell this mobile home. You guys might have seen on my Facebook page, my personal page, I have this mobile home that I had loaned $65,000 to a woman that I'd done business with for 25 years, maybe longer than that. And she went out of business, so left me hanging with the mobile home that I don't need. I have a mobile home lot, but it's really not nice enough for a mobile home as nice as this one. This was her park model, and it had like all the bells and whistles, and it was just gorgeous. So I thought I'd look through the newspaper and see what other mobile homes were selling for, and I couldn't find anything comparable. In fact, used to, the classifieds were like this huge section of the newspaper, and now they're just so so scaled back. I don't know how people buy and sell stuff if they don't run ads in the classifieds, but there might have been 6 mobile homes listed in the Tampa Bay Times. That's crazy. So I tried it on Facebook, and then I spent the entire morning going to every website online that is either a broker for mobile homes in the area or is a mobile home park, because I know a lot of times they buy mobile homes and set them up in their parks. So that's how I spent my morning, but I wanted to come out here and be sure that you guys got some cat footage, because I've been 2 days now that I haven't been able to get out here. Cindy, it is an absolutely gorgeous mobile home, and if I can't sell it, I'll bring it out here to the sanctuary for intern housing, but we don't need any more intern housing. And it's just going to be a huge hassle to go through all the permitting and everything to set that up. So I'd much rather just get my cash out of it. Hope you guys are enjoying all of the cool things that Cindy's been creating. All of the ornaments and t-shirts and lots of new sweatshirts on Amazon. Isabel's been uploading a lot of those images for the sweatshirts. And who else? Joanne Weiss has been donating some new designs, and I think is it Diana Plount that has also created some new designs. You can find those over at catrescue.biz, or if you go to Amazon and type in t-shirt and Big Cat Rescue, or long sleeve t-shirt and Big Cat Rescue, you should find them there. Paula, thank you for donating. Yeah, moving one of those mobile homes is a huge pain. Depends on how far you're moving it. Usually it costs me, I'm thinking, like between $7,000 and $10,000 to move one and set it up. Chet said he spent his morning Christmas shopping. Yeah, that watercolor tiger was really pretty. I like all of the bright colors in that. I'd like to do more t-shirts that are sublimated where they're printed all over, but I haven't found any vendors that do that on really plus sizes. You know, even though they call it plus sizes, their sizing runs really small. You do have a heart on your cheek, don't you? Yes, you do. Right there behind your whiskers. Can we paint that pink? That would be a very cute pink. Maybe when you don't clean your face so well. I actually came over here to go live with Cameron, but he laid down right as I came up, and Zabu came out of her den, so it was nice timing to be able to see her. I got a new phone, and so I ordered a cheap little clear plastic case for it, not knowing what I wanted to do as far as a permanent case. And then the other day when I was doing those videos in the gift shop, Honey was showing me some 3D note cards that we have, and there's one that's just cute as it can be with a little bobcat. It looks so real, and as you move around, the card looks like the cat's following you with its face. Oh, you were just stretching, right? You weren't really going to come over here and give me trouble. So I took the card and I laid the phone case down on it and traced it and then cut it out and put it underneath the case so that instead of it being a clear phone case, it's that 3D Bobcat kitten. It's so cute. I just love it. To market it as a kit. Zabu just laid down where I can't see her face. There's Mr. Cameron out there snoozing on the deck. I figured people were going to want to see photos of that mobile home inside and out, and I had taken a whole bunch of pictures back several months ago when I made the loan, and I could not find them on my hard drive anywhere. I just dug and dug and dug through all these folders, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I get started on something like that and I can't stop. I just keep organizing and keep organizing. So I have a lot better organization of my photos now, but at the end of it decided I didn't have any photos. I hadn't saved them anyway. Hadn't saved them anywhere I could find them. So I went back out to the mobile home today and took all new pictures inside and out. So all of the photos that I posted were from today. Yes, he is solar charging. Matthew Renault, there is nothing going on. Cats are just sleeping everywhere. So I'm just babbling on incessantly while you guys are watching them sleep. Walk around and see what Kali is up to. Last night I had hoped to go live and didn't because I had to go to a wedding, and social events like that are just not my cup of tea. And then Howie comes in last night. This was a friend of Howie's, has a daughter who was getting married. And Howie comes in this morning and he's like, "This is great timing. After we just went to this wedding yesterday, my friend out in Texas has 5 daughters, and one of them's getting married, and we're invited to the wedding." And I said, unless he can marry them all 5 off at one time, I don't think I want to go to Texas. Shame on me. So by the time I got back from that, because it was over in Pinellas County, it was almost dark, but we had a work team here yesterday, working on raking off all of the debris from Hurricane Irma off of the top of the cougar cubs cages. And for those who are new, the cougar cubs are not cubs. They came here as cubs like 12 years ago, but everybody still calls them cubs. A hunter had shot their mom in Idaho. So anyway, they had all been locked over in this one section here next to Kali. There's Kali. I walked right by you. And they have like a 4-section enclosure, so actually 8 sections altogether because each side has 2 sides. Hi! Yes, you're so chuffy. What are you doing in the hallway? Why are you in the hall? You should go in one side or the other, not just in the tunnel. That's so silly. You're so silly. So I didn't want him to be stuck in that one area all night. And by the time I got all of the doors unlocked, because you have to put so many doors down to make sure that the people working on the cage aren't anywhere near the cats, and to make sure the cats don't go out the wrong ends of the tunnels. So there were lots of snaps and latches and locks and guillotine doors. Hi, Artemis. It's okay. Hi. I know. I would really like to come up closer if that's all right. Making lots of noise in these leaves. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. You'll get over it. It's just a camera. So by the time I got all of that unlatched last night, it was dark. And I couldn't do any filming while I was unlatching because I had to use both hands. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not. I am not scary. It would be better if I went down here so I'm not so close. That'd be okay. Yeah. I'm not going to lock you up again either. Oh, you're so fierce. You're so fierce. Where's your brothers? You're a good girl. You're a very good girl. You see, you look like a dog with your ears down. You don't want that. You don't want that. Did you guys watch Outlander? Hallie and I are hooked on it. And one of the scenes from the last couple of shows is them on this ship called the Artemis. Yeah, your name's on a ship. Are you deciding it's okay? Not sure about me holding this thing up and pointing it at her. It does not eject darts. Nope. It doesn't eject treats either. Now look at all you fans of Outlander. Until my grandmother died in her 80s, the youngest woman on her side of the family to ever die had been over 100. And so we had always teased that we were all a bunch of Highlanders. I'm doing slow blinks. She doesn't believe me. Diana, do you remember the name of your design? I should have known that that came from a book, but I did not know that. I'm sure movies and series are never as good as the books. Janet, this is the DJI stabilizer, and I don't know why it's working. It just decided all of a sudden to work, but my guess would be that it's because the iPhone 10 is so much smaller of a phone, it's just not killing the motor to hold it up. Oh yeah, I love the Vikings too, Karen. She does not act that way toward the other cubs. If all three of them were over here, she would still do this if I came up this close to her, I think. You just don't trust me. Yeah. 8 books in the series. Oh my goodness. Trisha, I'm not sure she's ever in a trusting mood. Oh, Game of Thrones. I love that one too. I admire you not watching TV at all. Usually by the time I get home, and a lot of times I'll go, especially in the winter, I go home and I'll work at my computer for several hours because it's dark here, which means I have to go, but there's still plenty of time for work. But then once I'm ready to wind down for the night, I need something to just zone out on. And the nice thing about my watching television anyway is that I could watch the same show probably 3 weeks apart and I could not tell you what happened at all because I'm so totally zombified by the time I sit down in front of the TV. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that the sound is bad. I've been trying to talk a little bit louder, actually. I have the little sound sock on it to keep the wind noise down. Diana, painting is a great way to spend that time. I don't know how people with cats paint, though. I used to paint many, many moons ago. I had domestic cats back then, and they were always getting into the wet paint. Oh, Limbo. Diana Standen says she can hear fine. Jimmy, I hear from a lot of people that they watch these live feeds in lieu of television or cable. I'm going to be getting a bill from DirecTV and Showtime. Hi. Hey, Gabrielle. Oh, she's a sweetie tiger. She's the tiny tiger. You remind me of my little Aurora. Aurora used to be the tiniest tiger. You're so tiny you fit on the screen. Jim, we do offer guided tours of the sanctuary. In fact, there's a group out there right now walking around with a tour guide. We have tours every day except for Thursdays. We're closed on Thursdays. And we have other types of tours too. We have a keeper tour where you can actually make fun stuff for the cats and walk around and watch the keepers hand it out. We have a feeding tour where you can watch the cats getting fed. We have kids tours on Saturdays and Sundays at noon for people who are traveling with children under the age of 10. All of the rest of our tours, you have to be over the age of 10 to go on them. Do you see some people coming? You can go see them. We have cats who are on and not on the tour pass. So you can see there's a tour group coming down the aisle right there. And it's led by an intern who has an iPad, and she's playing stories of the cats. It's in an app that you can get for free at bigcatrescue.org/app. And so she's playing the story of the cubs. I can see on top of the Artemis's brother is way down there. So she's playing their story. And then if the people have questions or whatever, they can ask. We have a night tour quarterly. Hey, Priya Tiger. Why is your toy out here? Yeah, wow. Are they going to give it to you later? I hope so. You watching people coming too? I don't know how long the witness protection cats will be because the guy had until November 20th to file his appeal to the Ohio Supreme Court, which he did on November 20th. Of course, people always wait till the last minute because they want to drag the time period out as long as possible. So I don't know how long after that. It's a matter of when it gets heard. And I know sometimes we wait 6 months or better for a judge to make a ruling on a case that we're involved in. There comes another tour around the corner, if you can see them way back there. You should go see them, Priya. They're coming to see you. They are. Diane, I feel very confident. All of the courts, or almost all of the courts, all of the courts that matter, have agreed that the Ohio Department of Ag had the right to confiscate the cats and send them to a sanctuary. So I just can't believe that anybody would overturn that. We have 3 new cats coming. Can't tell you much about it yet, but by this time next week, you will know all about one of them and maybe some more details on the other 2. And those will all be permanent residents. They won't be, even though one of them's coming from the Department of Ag, it's not a contested case. Hey, you. Oh, snoozy cat. That's mostly what we're seeing. Little snoozers. Jen, Priya is missing that canine. All of those cats, the 5 tigers that we rescued from Colorado, had a mouthful of about the worst teeth you've ever seen in your life. So they've had all their dental work done now. Hey, Keisha. Yes, my goodness, what a good girl you are. But their rotten teeth had to be pulled, and they had, root canals done to save the teeth that we could save. It is a leopard, a jaguar, and a cougar. And for those who don't know Keisha's story, Keisha came from a facility in New York where the keepers there said that because she shared a common wall with lions, which we saw when we were there, she was sharing that common wall, the lions had managed to rip off her tail and her ear, and there's some stripes on her back leg that don't match up very well, that leg there. So who knows if she got any kind of vet care at that place. I did say jaguar, Lauren. You know, we have this whole page about, I think it's bigcatrescue.org/cheetah-jaguar or jaguar-cheetah. And the whole page there is about why there aren't cheetah and jaguar at Big Cat Rescue. And here we are, less than a year later, with the jaguar coming in. But the reason that I wrote that page is because cheetah are so inbred that they hardly ever live long enough to be dumped by a zoo into the private sector or end up in need of rescue. Jaguar are, I don't know why they're not more common in zoos, but I can tell you that I'm sure the reason they're not more common in private possession is because they are strong and smart and deadly. Hi, Risa. Yeah, it's going to be cougar hour. I think that's what we're going to call this. Cougar hour with Carol. Little lizard. Hi. Meow. Not talking? What is it, Risa? Trying to decide why I'm here without a keeper with treats? Yeah. What was I thinking? Yes, Lauren is is very accurate there. Anything that can take down a caiman is pretty strong. Thank you for posting the link to her page. Michelle, I think Jamie is going to be very happy to be spending time with the jaguar. It seems to be her spirit animal. Hey, Barbara. Were you chatting with that group that just went by? Laura wants you to tell everybody a story. Florence, the Jaguars enclosure is going to be very close to the Funcation, which is a 22,000 square foot area. And so he will get his turns in there to every 2 weeks. We switch out the cat who gets that space so that each of the smaller cats, cougars and leopards, and sometimes servals and bobcats, will have more space to run around. But they can't go back to the wild, so it's the best thing available to them currently. Who is that? Is that Beecher? Hi, Beecher. Are you and Beecher flirting? Are you talking to Beecher? I hear you, son. He's right over there. What's that? Does Riza have a crush on that Beecher? Do you have a message you would like to send over to him? I'm going to go see him. Ooh. Yeah, he's so chatty today. I've heard from some of the other keepers that he's been really chatty with them. Hey, Beecher. Hi. Heard you had some tuna today. Did you have some tuna? Yes. He got away from me. Hang on, everybody. Close your eyes. Everybody's seasick. Are you settling in? Yeah. What a very good cat you are. Well. Well. Were you talking to Riza? Is she chatting back with you? You love eating that grass, huh? Didn't get a lot of that before. A bit knock-kneed. Don, I don't know if he's missing his mama. He doesn't seem to be pining. No, he seems to like just about everybody and everything. He's not real keen on the regular diet that we're trying to feed him. So he's a Savannah cat, which is a cross between a serval and a domestic cat. He's one of our more recent rescue stories. If you go to bigcattv.com and look for Beecher, Beacher, you'll see his story. Lady paid $15,000 for him, and then another $10,000 on a room addition to try and give him some indoor-outdoor space. And over 5 years of trying to make a pet out of him, but he just kept attacking people, and she couldn't have him attacking her daughter and her new boyfriend, so she asked if we would take him. Yeah. We don't usually take hybrids because they can fit through our 4x4 wire. This wire is 2x4 wire, but he's big enough that once he starts on a regular diet and fills out a little bit, I think he's going to be fine in 4x4 wire. We're going to actually try him this week in the cat hospital in a 4x4 cage, 4x4 wire, to see whether or not he can get out of it. If he can't, then we can go ahead and open up his other much larger section. But for right now, he's so skinny. We're a little bit worried that he might be able to get through. You can see we're going to have to treat you for fleas when we take you in, too. As long as we're back here, let's see if we can find Cyrus and Chaos. Hi! Here's Cyrus. Cyrus Caracal. You're so handsome. What do you think of that neighbor? What do you think of that beecher neighbor? Ho hum, huh? If he were a girl, you might think something of him. Yeah, Cyrus took a while to come around, but he seems quite happy now. He has loved the enrichment. He loved pumpkins, loved turkeys or Cornish game hens. They say you have nice ears. No, you have very fancy ears. He's a caracal. C-A-R-C-A-C-A. Caracal. C-A-R-A-C-A-L. Oof, everybody's so tired. So tired on a Sunday. Where is Miss Chaos? Kaspara, thank you for donating. Fine, Chaos. This over here will be more of Beecher's enclosure once we're sure he can't get out of this wire. There she is. Did you hear Beecher calling too? You could chirp at him. You could. Oh, goodness. It's all right. Somebody all snugged in the hay? Yeah. He is still sassing over there. Circles and caracals are often very, very hissy. I don't know why people think they want to make pets out of them. They can be purring and hissing at the same time. That's what we do best. Make those old hissy faces. I'm really no threat to you. And we nap. Fluffing up your bed there. A little bit of growling. Just enough to let me know to stay back. After a while, they learn that this cage wall is their security blanket. It means no part of us is ever coming across that line to them. They're perfectly safe as long as we're on one side and they're on the other. That's funny, Cindy. They are still separated. She has just not shown any interest whatsoever in being with him again. All right, everyone. Well, this has been lovely. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Chaos, for allowing us to see you in your boudoir here. They are next door to each other. And there's a tunnel right between them, a short tunnel. It's only about 3 feet long. And so he used to go down there and sit next to it for her. She had no interest in sitting anywhere near him. So he doesn't even bother anymore. Now that he's been neutered, he doesn't care. You can make that bed the way you like it, huh? Gotta fluff it up. All right. Good night, everyone. What are you doing, Karma?
Well, Breezy's been pretty cranky about having to be in the cage, and she gets cranky with the caretakers who do the rotten stuff for her, and I've been her groomer, and so I've been coming in and giving her some grooming to hopefully make her feel better.
And why is she in here?
So she had a dental and had to have quite a few teeth removed, actually all of the molars except for the bottom ones on one side. And so we had to make sure that she's eating before she goes back out.
And she likes this? Now we're back. Ooh, does that feel good? Ooh, you like that.
Oh, does that feel good? This also helps them if they tend to get mad. So she got shaved when she got her dental. So we're maintenance now, and hopefully she won't be getting matted up again.
Can you explain to people who don't know why they get matted? And how old she is?
I think she's 17 or 18. But when they start getting old and arthritic, they can't reach the spots to groom themselves properly, and also she's been declawed. And the declawing, of course, not having the claws prevents them from combing through their hair. And also now that she's lost a lot of her teeth, sometimes they use their teeth to... Although, she lost some of her front ones, too. I was going to say, most of it, it's usually the front teeth that they use to groom.
She does seem to like this. She's never been a real people-friendly cat.
So, that's what I hear.
She likes you, though.
She likes to scratch her, at least. And she's really good about telling me when she's done. She just kind of gives a low growl or walks away. Oh, is that a good spot?
Everybody says if you'd start eating regularly, you could go back outside.
Well, I see the bowls flipped over.
Did you eat it or bury it?
So I'm hoping Mama Becky said she was eating when she left her, so I gave her enough time to eat before I came in. Because, there we go. Get it?
You may actually want to wait a couple days, Breezy, because it's 58 degrees and raining sideways out there.
It's yucky out there. But yeah, if she's eaten everything, she can go back out. And she's really, when I come to the side of the cage too, I'll say scratchy, scratchy, and she'll.
Scratchy's my middle name. Like, I love you, Karma. That's your I love you face.
Yeah, and I watch for signals when she's done too, even though she's good. If her tail starts switching or she starts acting restless, then I stop. We don't want them to start not liking it.
It's just like your cat at home. You really have to be in tune to that split second between I love this and I'm done with this.
Yeah. I need to pull the hair out of this. Are you going to get mad at me like you did last time?
You don't want to give up your clumps.
I pulled the brush back to get the clumps out, and she growled at me for stopping.
You may proceed, madam.
Yes.
Chris Maya arrived this morning at 5 a.m. and she was released out into her enclosure at about 7:30, and you can see that on our Facebook page. Just scroll up a little higher on the page to see the release. She took it very, very well.
She's really cute. I went and saw her, and Mac, I think, has a new girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Mac is very smitten. He was sitting over there talking.
She was a cutie.
Always let him smell it again before I start, when I've pulled it in. Can I do your backside?
Linda wants to know if Maya ate anything. Did you hear?
Becky, I think, said she ate a pound and some.
I know they were taking her a whole smorgasbord of things to try.
Yeah. Of course, this is Becky, but Becky wasn't happy with the amount she ate. But it's like, she just traveled a long ways. And
she's a tiny little thing.
Yeah. See if I can get on the other side without catching my radio. Can I do your backside? Mm-hmm.
Sarah, this is Breezy. She's in the cat hospital because she had a whole bunch of rotten teeth removed recently. And she hasn't gone quite back to eating her full diet, although she may be there by today or tomorrow.
Actually, we can unveil the dish and see if there's food left underneath it.
We'll have a reveal. You telling me I'm not funny, Breezy?
Oh.
Oh, somebody hid her food. You'll eat it now that you see it again.
Yeah. I think Mama Becky gives very generous portions, so I'm sure she ate a pretty good amount.
Can I walk by you without upsetting you? This way we can see you and Karma. You know, it's a slow Saturday when 420 people are watching a cat being combed.
420. Rainy day activity.
Yeah.
This is Madam leaving the property.
Yeah, they put her in the squeeze cage this morning to give her clean bedding, and I guess she got very angry because she was afraid she was going to have fluids again.
Don't like getting those fluids. Right after her dental work, she started recovering quite well, and she was on tramadol. And then when the time ran out for the tramadol, she started going back downhill again and wasn't eating. And so the vet said she had to get fluids, subQ fluids. And I think she would rather have just had pain meds, subQ fluids, but she needed to heal some on her own. So I don't know what her mixture of meds and fluids are now. Do you?
I'm not sure what all she's getting. Oh, are you about done?
Is it nap time?
Good time to nap, huh? What do you think? You actually let me groom you for quite a while.
Yeah. We don't touch the cats here because it sends the wrong message. They're not pets, and we don't want to make them look like pets. But if they need help with their grooming, we use those telescoping. Can you stick it up so they can see it? Telescoping back scratchers. They're the best. I love those. And it probably feels a whole lot better than our fingers because it gets down into those mats and really gives them a good scratching.
Yeah, we got some little tiny fur balls. You ready for a nap now? You ate some breakfast. You got groomed.
Well, thank you, both of you ladies.
You're welcome.
A few weeks ago, Breezy Bobcat had to have some bad teeth removed, and we had her in the cat hospital to make sure that she was going to go back to eating because she's like 22 years old. And she has gone back to eating, but the last couple of days she's been really, really mad about being in the cat hospital. So they're hoping by bringing her outside back to her enclosure that she'll be happier and eat better. I apologize for not having the stabilizer. I brought the Smooth out here to try it out this morning, and that thing is a piece of junk. I hate that thing. So that's why I'm doing this by hand.
So she ate maybe 3/4 of the nectar. Okay.
Well, you know, that's the best we can hope for right now while she's mad. Hopefully when she gets back out.
She took her bed with her into
She did
She
what?
was like, if I ever go, I'm taking it with her. She was going in, she bit the bed and took it in with her. I was like, oh, okay.
She heard that went viral on Facebook.
Yeah, she's like, I'm taking this with you.
She's like, I'm taking this with me.
That's fine. They can all have little skip beds if they want.
Oh no, that's a lot of laundry.
Is she going through there?
Yeah. Going up against this guillotine door.
Catherine and Ashton just gave fluids to Will, and I'll be posting that online a little bit later today. I didn't do it live because I was trying to use a Smooth to make sure that we got good video. And it didn't do a very good job, but we were able to prop the camera up against the side. You're home. Come on, girlfriend. There's a good girl. Oh, yeah. Are you happy to be home? I hate that hospital. Ooh, hate it. Gonna go find a warm spot and snap in the sun? That would be a great idea. Yeah, does that feel good? Oh, this is so much better. You gotta eat. You gotta eat a lot. And she probably will because it's cold. All of the picky cats are eating better. She's not usually a picky cat, but having those teeth removed and then being on the pain medications, a lot of times pain medications make them so dopey they don't want to eat. She's gonna go check the other side, make sure she can go in her other enclosures as well. She has a huge triplex here, 6 rooms, and she's gone. All right, thank you, everybody.